Welcome to the channel. Welcome to DS Trucks. In this video, I want to talk about why the 3.5 liter EcoBoost is better than the 5.0 liter V8 or any other V8 in a half-ton pickup truck right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do a cold start, and then we're gonna get inside the truck and go for a little bit of a POV drive and talk about how the power is delivered in this 2018 F-150 with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. So here's for a cold start. Now this is where the V6 is lacking, and that is sound. Now you could look at that one or two ways. Number one, it's more power but less sound. So when you're getting on it, when you're flying, whatever, doing a little spirited driving, you're drawing a lot less attention to yourself compared to a bigger V8, but you don't have the beautiful tone of a V8, but at the same time you still get a decent sound, in my opinion. Here's how it is cold. And we're gonna get inside the truck now and go for a quick drive. I was inspired to make this video because this truck has been parked for a number of weeks, something like 3 weeks, and I have not driven the vehicle because of the crisis. I mean, we're going through COVID right now, and we just haven't had any need to drive the truck. So it's been a while since I've driven it. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I have a number of trucks. I got an EcoBoost, I got a 6.2, I got a 5.4. So they all have their own little bit of character. But when you've been driving one for a long time, you just kind of get used to it. It just becomes normal. But since I got something different to drive pretty much every day, if I want, then, you know, things can kind of stay interesting. But anyway, I got back into this truck after a few weeks of not driving it, and it was like I totally forgot how much torque this V6 truck has, and it kind of got me thinking, why is the 3.5 EcoBoost the best engine for a half-ton truck? And it's not the best rated engine. It's not the highest rated horsepower. The 5.0 has more horsepower than the 3.5 EcoBoost. If you look at the 6.2 Chevy, the 6.2 in the Chevy, it might beat the torque. Last time I looked, it was like 460 foot-pounds of torque, so it's really close, if not better. It might have gotten better over the last couple years, but that engine has more horsepower than this, and I would imagine it's got good low-end torque. It's probably not as good as this engine, but being that the torque on this engine is so good on the low end, to me, it's a huge benefit, because when you want to drive spirited, you can do a lot without breaking the law. So, you know, the fun is in the low end, because the fun is in the taking off from maybe 0 to 30, 0 to 40. That's where you want to be. I mean, you can get more out of a 5.0 if you're driving the vehicle at 100 miles an hour, for sure, because it's got more horsepower, it's got more higher RPM power. But the torque being available all the time to you at your fingertips, pretty much at the foot of your pedal, your right foot, the torque's right there. You know, is it better for towing? I don't know. You know, it's a tough one. You still want to have the highest gear ratio, even though the max tow package on the 3.5 is a 3.55 rear gear. I would probably feel more comfortable with a 3.73 over the long haul. The reason I say that is because the taller the gear, then the more protection you have for the engine, in my opinion. Or, I mean, that's probably debatable, but I just think, you know, the taller the gear, the less it's easier for the engine. It's easier on the engine. So long term, being that it is a V6, it does have less cylinders, it is more stress over fewer components, a taller gear does make sense. For example, when you get an F450, you get a 430 gear. That's pretty tall for a diesel. When you get into an F550, you can get a 4.88 gear. So you can get even higher, numerically higher gears than you can in half ton or even Super Duty that's underneath a 450 or underneath a 350. So that's interesting to think about. You know, taller gear. What I've experienced from having 430 gears in my 6.2 liter gas V8 is it's just better for the drivetrain long term. Everything is just smoother. The shifts are smoother. Whatever you would feel during a shift is less. It's less harsh. You know, it's just everything's a little bit more insulated. And also notice that the four-wheel drive, the knuckle steering, the shaking in the steering wheel from the four-wheel drive system, those half shafts in the front, they're not constant velocity joints. And the 3.73 gears that I had before the 430s, that was way more pronounced. But going with 430 gears, it's so much easier to drive in four-wheel drive with the Super Duty. But you know, I've been driving the Super Duty a lot. I've been driving the old green truck a lot. Old green. It's the 5.4 V8 that I have. It's got like 220 on the clock. I've been driving those two trucks a lot, and I kind of just been not driving this. But getting back in here, it's like I felt like just being used to driving those other trucks, it just felt like I got into a rocket ship. It's like the power was just like I had to kind of look down and realize that I was speeding ridiculously everywhere, just because the torque was just so different, so much more available. So the reason I say it's better is just because of the fact that how are you going to really have fun with the truck? I mean, you're going to take off fast, do some towing, which it does tow really good. You know, I can't say that it's really better than the V8 because the V8s are good. I mean, and then you don't need that much low end torque. You know, I've never really towed heavy enough to really see how the RPMs do, but it wouldn't bother me if the RPMs are high on the V8. So, you know, I know some people with these trucks have said that there was some overheating issues at some point or some points while towing. I would imagine that those people had the 3.31 gears, which is very common on these trucks for fuel economy. But I think if you have a 3.55, a 3.73 rear gear with the EcoBoost, 3.5 EcoBoost, I don't think you'll have any issues with engine overheating, just because you get a little bit more RPM, and it offers a little more protection for the motor when towing. But anyway, guys, check out that beautiful scene out there. Good old Lake St. Clair. But yeah, it's like, it is what it is. But tell me what you think about that. And also too, I want to bring up the point, I know a lot of people probably noticed, I changed the name of the channel from Donashawn to DS Trucks. It's just been something that, you know, I've been thinking. The channel started off as just a channel with me and Donna making videos or whatever, and it didn't really pan out the way I thought it would. It kind of became about trucks. I just kind of ran with what was working, and it is what it is. I mean, Donna's still willing to be in the channel, and it is still D and S, but it's just a little bit better for the channel for growth and everything, and it has helped with the channel to just change the name to DS Trucks. So tell me what you think about that, and let me know how you guys have been holding up as we go through this COVID crisis. It's like 64 degrees out here today, and I'm wondering if this COVID thing's gonna start to back off. We're actually allowed to cut lawns now, and that's been brutal. Unemployment's pretty much taken over my whole crew, so I'm out here hiring a new crew, and it's been tough, but we're gonna get through it. Let me know if you guys are doing all right. I'm hoping everybody's still healthy and doing well. Here in Michigan, things look pretty good. A lot of landscapers out. A whole lot of landscapers are out. But, you know, it is what it is. Beautiful town, by the way. I wish I was cutting these lawns. Something about mowing lawns is like I'm getting into the more wide open like lawns. I'm tired of just cutting small stuff. I got a couple big properties, and when I get on those, it's like just opening up the mower and just going full throttle is kind of a lot nicer than constantly turning and obstacles and all this stuff that people put in their grass. It's just so goofy. It's like everyone's got a opinion, like to jam something in the lawn that don't belong. Solar lights and it's like, come on, man. So, but anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Comment below. Tell me what you think about the EcoBoost. Hope to hear from you. Hope you are doing well during COVID. And have a great day. Bye.